to episode 9 of The Worst Idea of All Time with me, Guy Montgomery.
And myself, Tim Batt, two Billy T award-nominated comedians watching the film Grown Ups 2 week after week for one whole year, 52 times in a row. And we bring you a podcast after each watch. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We're up to watch number 9 out of 52.
That's right. And we have come after the delirious high of last week's viewing post 48 Hour Film Festival. I think we're back to the regular bleak 9 a.m. on a Monday landscape of Grown Ups 2.
We've been crashed down to reality today. It's very sad. I wanted to open the podcast today with some reviews from people who aren't us of the movie, because I feel like we're getting a bit insular. We're getting a bit up our own arse with this podcast.
That's natural. That's bound to happen.
Yeah, but I wanted to prolong that as long as possible. So I just, as an entry point, we got some people who are listening for the first time, jumping on board. Why start at episode 1? That's what I always say. It's like us. Why watch Grown Ups 2 or Grown Ups 1? Just start at Grown Ups 2.
Start when you want to start.
Here's what Empire magazine,
very well respected
UK,
and known film magazine.
Slothful, indulgent sequel that sees once great screen comedian hit self-inflicted Sandler-geddon.
Listening to these guys. That guy's whoever right there is a good reviewer.
Sandler-geddon, God, that's good. Hollywood Reporter. Throughout, gags are cartoonishly broad and afforded so little time for setup and delivery. We seem to be watching less a story and more a catalogue of tossed out. Oh, that's where it cuts off. I'm not going to read more.
I agree with that one, because this is one thing I was thinking today. I think we've talked about it before. Is the idea of if we were to do an edit, so we got rid of all the bits which we deemed not funny enough to be in the comedy or expendable.
Yeah.
And I was just doing a very vague catalogue of that in my mind. And there's not a lot of meat left on the carcass of this movie.
Certainly isn't. The New York Times said, "This is pap, plain and simple. Scattered, raunch light, devoid of emotional resonance." Accurate. Time Out New York. In the first 5 minutes, a deer walks into the star's bedroom, urinates on his face. It's all downhill from there.
See, that's good.
It's a brilliant summation of the film.
All of these people have done a better job of summing up Grown Ups 2 with one sentence than we've done with 8 podcasts.
Well, that's why it's important for us to step outside the bounds and
true.
Open it up every now and then. Total Film UK, an equally shameless, just as shoddy, no less depressing sprawl of, quote, life lessons and fat gags. I assume they're talking about versus the first Grown Ups movie.
There are a lot of fat gags. Yeah.
Are there?
Yeah.
Well, Adam Sandler keeps yelling at a
teenager, and then there's also the principal. Remember, he goes over.
It's mainly Adam Sandler making fun of fat people. Variety USA. This will be the last one. Among the slackest, laziest, least film-like movies released by a major studio in the last decade.
Wow,
that is scathing.
Well, I guess what hurts is that we didn't. No, well, I don't know. Look, I mean, it happens occasionally. Last week was fine. This week there was that crystal moment of realization that at the start I was saying to Tim quite excitedly, you know what? After next week, that's 10 of 52. That's almost 20% through. And then Tim turned that on its head after about half an hour of the movie today, and he said, after next week, we've only done 1/5 of what we've set out to do. And it's all about spin, man. And if we're going to do it, I can't, because you were getting blue again today. You got real blue. It's like you said you don't think you can do it. You asked if we could take off next week. Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
It's like climbing Mount Everest, and you put everything into your climb so far, like everything. You think that you've died, you've used half of your oxygen tanks already, and you look up and you've left 2 steps from the ground.
That's what it feels like.
It's awful. Hey, so just to recap as well, last week we mused in our delirium about the idea of doing a sequel, Grown Ups 3. Well, we're not going to make it. I'll put it that way. We're not going to make it.
We were going to crowdsource the money for it. But I got to say, I listened back to last week's podcast and... Yeah, I don't know who those guys were. I liked them. I like their energy, their pep and their verve, but I don't know where they've gone this week because we're in a different fucking room.
I wanted to hang out with them, spend some time with them, man, because they were fun guys.
They were fun.
They were having a great time. But we asked, how much would you pay to see Grown Ups 3D? and I'll just read some of the tweets.
Using the
that we got
hashtag grownups3D and just a number.
1550 from Rebecca Fulters Up. It's a very sensible amount. It's
that's how much you pay for a movie, yeah.
Matt Lagan said $35,000, bitches.
Jesus Christ.
Loving that. Adam Wright, $15. Max Donlan, £200. Let's throw some sterling at this bitch.
That's not bad.
And someone called Sylvia Burgess said, is Grown Ups 3D going to be a thing? Because I got really pumped about the naming a price, and then Guy confused me. Guy confused everyone last week. But
everyone was confused last week. That was really nice. We also got a nice shout out from a film reviewer for the New Zealand Herald, Dominic Corrie.
Yeah.
Who was talking about bad movies, which he secretly enjoys more than he's supposed to. And while Grown Ups 2 wasn't one of the top ones on his list, He said, but 2 local comedians are watching it every week, and attached a link.
And those 2 comedians were us. We actually, Guy and I tried to Trojan Horse a mention of the podcast into a nationwide broadcast TV show this week, unsuccessfully, sadly.
We didn't try hard enough, and it wouldn't have really jibed with the vibe of the whole show.
No, but that's kind of the beauty of it, you know, when we can sneak one and everyone's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about in our little secret fun clubhouse. We're like, you
saying Trojan Horse has reminded me. You stumbled into a Trojan theory during the movie. I think we've touched on it before, but I'd like to revisit it because it was. You were talking about the set design. We were in Chris Rock's kitchen, in the family kitchen, and what did you say?
I said, you know what they've done a really good job of on here? The people in charge of art and set have really hammered home how much money everyone makes, like quite accurately.
And it's true, because we start off in Adam Sandler's family kitchen. I was talking to Tim today about how lovely open plan living. They've got a nice big island. I really like those kitchens with the island in it. And it sprawls straight into sort of a living area. I mean, it's a phenomenal kitchen.
We're looking at redeeming features that keep us on this film, and right now it's Adam Sandler's kitchen.
And then anyway, we go to Chris Rock's house and in his kitchen, and there's this sort of, it's smaller, it's more condensed, and there's kids' toys lying everywhere. And I think the theory was that while the actual content and the words and the action that the actors have to go through in the movie is terrible, they've dressed it up, they've disguised it. Yeah,
they've Trojan Horse this piece of shit to get it through the front gates of a wide cinema release.
That's right.
Trick people to parting with their money to go and see it. But it sucks. Here's the big secret about Grown Ups 2, everyone. It fucking sucks.
No, the cat's out of the bag now. As James Franco would say, Pandora doesn't go back in the box.
When does he say that? Oh, Spider-Man?
Knocked up. When Seth Rogen and him have a fight, and Seth Rogen says, "You're not my friend, you're my pot dealer," or something.
Yeah.
And James Franco goes, "That's it, man. Pandora doesn't go back in the box."
Oh, that's a good line.
It's a good movie.
What should we do on that one?
But I mean, can you think of other evidence or instances of this Trojan horsing?
As you said, we have touched on this before, but like just everything's shot really pretty well. You've mentioned that establishing shot at the very start of the movie where it's just a beautiful sweeping vista of trees and suburban. Where are we in this film?
I saw a sign saying Connecticut somewhere. Oh, yeah. So we might be in the heart of Connecticut. I don't know a lot about Connecticut.
Me neither. Is Connecticut, it's not rural, but it's quite kind of, it seems like quite a suburban state as a state. Is it a state?
It's a small town. Connecticut is...
No, wait, it's a city.
Connecticut.
What state is it in?
Connecticut is revealing how ignorant we are.
That's
what Connecticut's doing. No, it's not in New York. Fuck. I don't know, man. I don't even know anymore. What'd you do this weekend?
I don't know, man. What did I do this weekend? No, I'm honestly trying to remember. This movie's got a weird quality to it where it kind of retards you. And I've always felt this way about like shit television shows, that you shouldn't watch heaps of TV. But if you do, you should use it like medication, like a pain relief.
Yeah, that's the beauty of TV. That's why the garbage TV shows rate so well, is because people don't want to be challenged all the time. Sometimes they just want to come home and switch off, and you don't have to use your brain.
The problem is when people watch like nothing but, like if you're unemployed or something and you just watch tons of shitty TV.
Well, I would argue that that's probably better for you than what we're doing. Because the difference between watching a shitty TV show and a shitty movie every week is like a shitty TV show. You can watch a shitty episode of a TV show for 22 minutes, and that's a pretty okay amount of time to be mentally checked out for. Like, that's fine, but an hour 40 is a long, like it goes beyond being switched off, and it becomes like a challenge, and it's difficult for yourself.
Here's the real fucked up thing as well. Me and Guy have made this rule that we switch our phones off during the movie. So there's nothing, we have to focus on the film every time, even though we've seen it like, nine times now.
That's a lot.
And
we broke that today.
What do you mean?
Well, an hour and 10 in, I said to you...
Oh, yeah, true.
Please...
I wasn't going to reveal that, but you're right. We owe it to you guys.
It's about transparency. I was pestering Tim throughout the movie. I wanted to go on my phone. I just needed some sort of relief. I felt like I was completely isolated in the world of grown-ups too. I needed to just go on some form of social media and see other people's shitty lives.
We made it to an hour though, and it's an hour 10 actually, and it's pretty. If you've seen the movie 8 times before, you'll know what we're saying.
Yeah.
Do you reckon by the end of this there'll be anyone, like editors included, who have seen Grown Ups 2 as much as us? Because I don't reckon there will be.
I don't think there will be.
I don't know what the editing process is like for a major like Hollywood motion pitch. Oh yeah, there was the other thing about the whole Trojan Horse thing. Like I kept looking for you would think by this stage we would have found a boom that's in shot.
No.
Or like a cameraman
this
that's
is
accidentally
true.
somewhere. Like, technically, flawless is a pretty big word to apply to grown-ups too, but there's no major chinks in the armour.
It's true, and surprisingly, obviously, the plot has got a few holes in it, but as far as continuity goes, this thing is absolutely on the nose. I mean, even in the yoga scene, I was looking at in background of shot, all of the peripheral characters are in the same place. The same with the fight scene. Like continuity is,
it's dead on.
They've got it down to an art, and I'd like to think if they just spent a little less time on continuity and a little more time polishing this turd of a script, we could be in a much better mood right now, Tim.
You would actually swap out some of that.
I would
good
happily watch continuity errors. If it beefed up a joke or something.
There's a scene, the first John Lovett scene in the yoga place.
Where it's surrounded by mirrors.
Which is notoriously hard to shoot because you get reflections of cameramen and camera and equipment and shit. But I was looking specifically for it. Didn't see anything in there. If you know of any mistakes in Grown Ups 2 that we haven't seen, first of all, tip of the hat to you, because I haven't seen them after 8 watches or 9 watches, and also send them through to us.
Yeah, on Facebook, like the page, The Worst Idea of All Time. And you can. I don't know. God, this sounds depressing. This podcast sounds fucking low. So I wanna tip this up to the positive side for a moment, Guy, because we. Oh, first of all, I'd like to address the promise we made in the last episode. Tanya will not be joining us today. I'm sorry. She's real though.
She does exist, and we have
made contact.
And
with
she's
Tanya.
keen to come on. We need to hook it up. There's technical shit we need to suss out.
Time difference. So she's in LA. She's a bigwig in LA, and we're just a couple of lowly guys in a flat in Grey Lynn, just with a pocket full of dreams and a
podcast studio made of egg cartons.
And a brain literally melting out of our ears, little by little each week. Like I can feel like,
Oh yeah, hey, I had a point.
Okay.
So where I was going with that is that ages ago I said that when we get to episode 10 we're going to start all the fun and games. So that's kicking off with the Grown Ups 2, Worst Idea of All Time, drinking game. So we're going to set up rules. And this is going to be interesting because we're going to start getting fucking hammered on a Monday morning. Just like first thing in the week.
This is when I've been meaning to talk to you about this. I was going to do it off mic, but we can do it on. I don't know about a 9 o'clock on Monday morning screening time if we are doing a grown up. Like that is when
if we're doing the drinking game.
That is when this whole podcast and this movie is genuinely taking over and ruining our lives. When we start getting hammered at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning just to get through another screening of Grown Ups 2, that's when I think that we're going to get people coming in, the in-studio interventions.
But isn't there something beautiful about that? And doesn't it kind of...
What's beautiful?
Because it's like...
You sound like a man who wants to be involved in a beautiful car accident. It's not beautiful.
It almost serves as a warning to everyone else on how shit, like what the movie can do if you let it. You know, like this movie's so terrible, it'll ruin your life if you give it half a chance.
Well, we're not giving it more than half a chance. We've given it an inch and then we've decided to give it a mile and then we just shining light.
I don't have one.
Okay.
Seriously.
My shining light this week was that we watched the movie on a Sunday last week.
Yeah.
And so it was actually, instead of the regular 6 or 7 days without the movie, it was a...
That can't be your shining light.
It was
The point of the shining light is because this film is so awful, and we've got to find a brief flicker of hope, a little funny moment or something that we enjoyed that juts out.
Okay.
So find one.
Well, you said you didn't have one.
Oh, I wanted to talk about something that's not a shining light.
Well,
Yeah, no, you
No,
go.
you go.
No, you
No,
go.
you go.
Okay. I don't have a shining light.
I don't have anything to say.
We'll bookmark it for later. We'll get to the shining light after we've thought about it some more, because there's no redeeming.
Tim right now has got a piece of paper. It's the scramblings of a retard. No. You could read this out as a stand-up comedy set list.
No. Those are just...
you're trying to fold the movie on itself.
Yeah, so last week I kind of stumbled onto the fact that maybe they tried to shoot this film with half a script and then just started working their way back from the middle back to the start again, but it turns out that doesn't hold up to much scrutiny.
I'm just going to, just for fun, I'm going to just walk through some of the things you've written down here, and you have to say the first thing you think of, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, or just, yeah.
Okay.
So here we've got school teacher, baby gap.
Cartoon character.
Interesting. Bumpty date ask.
Huge CD round neck.
Braden.
Higgins.
Second rate soundtrack.
Oh, that's
What's
something
this?
I want to talk about.
Yeah?
That this movie has a second-rate soundtrack.
Yeah, of course they do.
No, but I wanted to contrast it specifically with a movie that was on TV last night called Dazed and Confused. Have you ever seen Dazed and Confused?
I have seen Dazed and Confused.
Came out in 1993. Fantastic movie.
Is that the one with McConaughey?
Yes.
He goes, high school chicks.
This is what I like about those high school girls. Every year they I get older.
They see the same age. McConaughey, you dog.
But that movie, is quite famous for its soundtrack. It's got an incredible fucking soundtrack. Just like every part of the film was perfect. I think they spent a titload of money on it as well. But and Grown Ups too. So Foghat, ZZ Top, that amazing Aerosmith song "Sweet Emotion" with the greatest intro of any song of all time. Just like if you look at the track listing for that movie, it's stunning. I was Googling it. They didn't even bother releasing a motion picture soundtrack for Grown Ups 2. And they do that with every movie, that's ever come out. I reckon Grown Ups 2 will be the highest budget film that hasn't had an original motion picture soundtrack.
I'd say you're right, because the only original music I can think of from the film is that awful, garage band rejected loop that they play at the end of the ballet recital.
There's a lot of production music.
That was the low point this week.
The low light.
That is always the low point. That's actually one argument we did have today in the movie, was there are 2 points which jut out as being the worst moments in this horrible abomination.
Flesh them out, because we've got to remember
Everyone's seen the movie.
Hopefully no one's seen the movie.
So the first one is Adam Sandler is driving the school bus. Don't worry about why. And he goes to pick up some kids, Chris Rock's kids, on the way to school. And when they open the door, it's a shot of Adam Sandler sitting in the seat. And it's sort of like a classic old, big, overdone Adam Sandler physical gag. And it's for some reason in this particular shot, in this scene, he gives it exactly the amount of effort it deserves, but it still stands out as being particularly awful. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, meet your new bus driver," and then pretends to play like a clarinet or something, but he's only operating at 40%, and you're like, come on, you're making everyone do this. You've got to deliver on this. And just seeing that, I was like, Sandler's not on board, and it's his baby.
Yeah, man.
And it's just,
But it's because he knows what he's making. He's making a little payday for everyone, man.
That's right. And then the other one, which
little tax write-off for the kids.
The other one that you can talk about was the end of the ballet recital when that music plays. We talk about it quite a lot, but it's so bad.
Oh, good God. It makes you want to, unscrew your head from your neck. I don't even know. There's something, just...
You're going to tell them. They don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let me collect my thought. So, they're all at the ballet recital for the kids' ballet show, and it's an incredibly awful scene. Basically, it's just a reason to parade around this model who they've hired in the film to parade around in a what are they called, a leotard. So you look at her breasts, and that's a thing. She's surrounded by children, so it's a bit weird. Luckily, John Lovitz is there to save the day with this fantastic line, "I'm having a wonderful time."
No, but this happens after that.
Yeah. So the awful bit is at the tail end of that scene. They kind of like, they ran out of music or something, and so they put in this, as you say, GarageBand loop would be a good description. Horrible synthy.
Can we find the music? Could we find the music and put it in the podcast at this point?
Fuck no. I've got shit to do. I've just watched this god-awful movie for like an hour and a half. I'm not putting any more into this thing.
But people need to... It goes...
I don't know. How would I search for that? How would I fucking find that?
We could maybe...
I guess I could cut it out of the actual movie. But God, that seems like a lot of effort.
It does seem like a lot of trouble to go to.
I could probably... Okay, I'll set... If I'm going to bother to put it in, here it is now. I probably didn't just put it in,
did you?
So... so that plays, and then it does this panning shot of, like, you see David Spade, you see Shaq, you see Peter Dante, whoever the fuck else is in this movie.
Kevin James.
Just dancing, and they're obviously dancing to no music on set. The director, Dennis Dugan, has just been like, guys, just wing it, it's fine. We'll add some great music later on and it'll look fantastic. Except it comes together to form the worst moment in the film.
Arguably the worst moment in the film.
It's one of them. You know this thing's like church? Like, we have to do it every week. And we have to, like, not pay any attention to our phones and stuff.
It is a lot like church.
But it sucks because we don't get to go to heaven afterwards. It's just that we're trapped in hell for 2 hours a week.
Oh, man. I hadn't even thought about it like that. I just got an email.
What does it say? You got to read it aloud.
Do I?
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do.
It's from Tom Furness.
Oh, shit.
He can't commit to something I hoped he'd commit to.
What was it?
Just a little short film. That's a bugger.
It's interesting you didn't ask me about my availability for the short film.
Wow. I got another guy I got to run everything through, you know. Oh, this has gone real bleak. Gotta go.
I don't want to be in your shit short film anyway, mate.
No one asked you to be in a shitty short film, mate.
Good, because if they did, you know what I'd say? Fuck off, Guy Montgomery.
You'd probably say, can I read the script?
Nah.
It would be the sensible thing. It might be really good.
I've
got phenomenal taste in movies.
I know you. You picked this. This is your doing, sort of.
Can we do The Shining Light and leave? The comedy festival's in like fucking 3 days.
Good God.
We've got shows to write.
Oh. Let's do a plug for our shows, man. Let's at least... I feel like this is the worst podcast we've done.
Yeah. Absolutely is.
We're in a bad place, people. Help us out. Hey, but do come to our Comedy Fest shows as well, man. Can we need to sell tickets? No.
Can we do the plugs next week? Because no one was going to, if they listen.
No, they might do it right now, though. That's the beauty of the internet.
Right now.
Go see our shows, guys.
Go and watch Tim Batt Saves Planet Earth. He's playing in Wellington from the 29th to the 29th of April to the 3rd of May. And then he's in Auckland from the 13th to the 17th
How'd you know
of May.
That? I don't even know my dates.
I got the same dates as you.
Oh, shit. Go and see Guy Montgomery.
Guy Montgomery presents a succinct and concise summary of how he feels about certain things.
Yeah, that's why I didn't remember it. Shining Light. Fuck me. Fuck. Well, I guess we talked about set dressing. I'm going to pick that because you didn't actually say it was your Shining Light, so I'm going to claim it. Really good set dressing. Well done, guys. Proud of you.
That's a good Shining Light. My Shining Light. I laughed pretty hard when Selma Hayek kicked that chick in the face. And it's episode 9 of The Worst Idea of All Time. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be better next week.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
promise.
We're sort of at the mercy of this movie, though, so it's difficult to know how it will go. Here's a fun anecdote, though. In the weekend, I pretended to be in a band. I was called Derek Danger, and the band was called Derek Danger and the Dumb Cunts.
Did you play any instruments or sing or anything?
No, I was just a dick.
Oh, good stuff. Well, God bless you, Derek Danger, for fighting a good fight. Thank you for staying with me for the old Grown Ups 2 watches every week. And thank you, listener, for listening to this one. Yeah, apologise for the quality this week. We're a bit depressed. I'm a little bit sad about the movie because it sucks so bad and we've got to watch it another 40 times. But please join us on the journey. Be part of the conversation, as they say, in the multimedia sphere of global corporations.
Shut up, Tim. These people don't want to listen to us anymore.
Facebook.com/worst idea of all time. Catch us on the Twitters and go fuck yourself, New Zealand.